Hi, it's Libby. Day 28 of my 30-day challenge to go 30 days without buying anything wrapped in plastic. I'm going to keep the video kind of short because I've just been out all day and I'm a little bit tired and I've got a lot of catching up to do. But just want to explain what I've been doing today. So I went on the train this morning and I went into Leicester. I had quite a few things I wanted to do. The first thing I did was I met up with a friend for coffee. And we met at what's called the Peace Cafe in the centre of Leicester. And this is a Buddhist cafe, it's really nice. And my friend treated me to coffee. The guy brought the coffee over with these nice little biscuits wrapped in plastic. So I had to avoid that. So that was okay. I'm not really bothered about biscuits. But yeah, so then I spent a little bit of time around the area. So the Peace Cafe is near to the cathedral. If you've never been to Leicester, come and visit because it's lovely around there. And we've got the King Richard's museum about King Richard was found. The remains were found there, close to the cathedral. So there is actually a centre there you can come visit. So all around that area, it's very much old Leicester. There's lots of independent shops, designer shops, really nice little cafes, bistros and things. So I spent quite a lot of time around there, and in the middle of that area is the market. So I did some shopping on the market, bought quite a lot of fruit and veg, so that was good. I managed to find some cheese. So one of the ladies she's a subscriber to this channel. She texted me while I was on the train and said, I hear you're going into Leicester. Check out the market. They sell cheese in wax. So I bought 2 packs. They do an offer, so I bought 2 packs of cheese in wax. So I've already started to save the wax somewhere. Can't find it right now, but I think I've put some in this little jar here. Yeah, it's there. So again, I can make candles with the wax, so it's not wasted. So that was one thing. I then went to a shop that does zero free packaging, and they opened up about a year ago. I'm not quite sure. Never been there before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. As you go into the shop, there's like a whole area that there's actually jam jars with lids on, so you can use that for packaging. And there's like bottles for oil. What I would suggest if you do go there, if you do live in Leicester and you want to take a little trip, make sure you take plenty of your own bottles and your own containers, because when I opened some of the jars, they did smell of the product. So then people would probably just rinse them out and put them there, which is nice of them to donate the jar, but they did smell a little bit of like the contents of the original contents. So I was going to buy some olive oil, and the jar that was there, the bottle was there, it smelled a bit like chili sauce. So I ended up not buying the olive oil that I was going to buy. And they've got dispensers all the way around. So if you're going to get olive oil, take yourself a little jar, something like this with the little lid. If I can get it open. The sprung lid, so that's really useful. And what they do is they weigh the bottle, you fill it up with oil, and then they deduct the measure, the weight of the bottle, and then you pay for the oil inside. What you can do is you can take your own disposable, your old plastic bottles, because bearing in mind these plastic bottles you can recycle, but the lids you can't. So if you think how many of these you go through a year, again, might be only 4, 5. But that's 5 times how many people live in England. That's a lot of bottles. So if you were just to go to this shop, refill your bottle every time. Okay, maybe after a while the bottle gets a bit tatty. Get yourself a glass bottle. These ones I've used. I take these with me when I go travelling. They're little bottles. They're 100 mils, so I can go through the airport. I fill them up with my shampoo and my conditioner. And I could take those out and fill those up. They are perfect, okay? Just have to be a bit careful, don't throw them on the floor. So again, jam jars with lids on, keep those, take them with you if you're going to go to this shop, it's worth it. There's lots and lots of products there, dishwash stuff, laundry, shampoos, all sorts of stuff, all in these big containers that you just siphon off, okay? So that's one good thing. I bought some dried fruit and stuff, so I needed some dried fruit, so I bought some currants. I did take my own brown bags today, So I managed to remember to take those. I got some coconut, some desiccated coconut, which I put in the little bags, and I've got some dried figs, okay? So I normally get these products from Real Foods, but again, I'm saving the bags. I did take one of the bags that comes from Real Foods. This is a compostable bag, and this has got some dried tomatoes in. This bag had brown rice in, but I just took it just because I didn't have any more bags left really, and it's fine, okay? So, what else have I done today? So I took a lot of my old candles and I chopped them up and I re-melted them and I've made some new candles, okay? So I've made 4 candles, little one, a medium-sized one and a big one. I also made another candle with the wax from the cheese. You might wonder why these are so long. These come from the wicks like this come from, I buy these from a candle company, and they come like this, and they come with a little, let me find it, a little sort of bracket that you put the candle wax in, or the wick rather, and then you pour the wax in, and that stays in the centre. So this one in particular, you can see it's right in the centre. It's a nice little container, I keep them. This is an old little toothpaste jar. Here I've got a little small, would be for tea lights, yeah, and this is soya wax. Don't use the petroleum candles that you get in the big bags, like a couple of quid for 100. They are full of petroleum and they are really bad for your health. It said if you burn one of those per night, it's like smoking cigarettes. It really gets down into your lungs. So I was horrified when I found that. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I started making my own candles. And so what I do, once the candle wax has gone down, you're left with quite a lot of wax again. So I just remelt it and reuse it. So you can put some essential oils in if you want a scented candle. I tend to keep them just neutral. And then you can just snip the wax, the wick rather. It is impregnated with soya wax. So you just snip the wax there, the wick, and you've got your little candle. This one was made from the wax that came from the cheese. And this is an old little Christmas one that's got a little lid on, so you can take it portable if you want to take it somewhere. Okay, so that's what I've made. So I made those out of just literally remnants of the wax that were left. Then I've made some bread. I made some, I'll just quickly show you. I've got a whole batch of bread there. This is actually got courgettes in. It looks a bit brown. It's not burnt. It's because it's got black molasses in, which is a treacly sort of sugar. And this is a recipe I make quite a lot. It's made with, I make it with spelt flour. It's got yeast in. It's got pumpkin seeds in. It's got pecan nuts. You can put walnuts in. But I use my courgettes that I've got in the garden. So I just made it a bit fancy for you. I wouldn't normally have it in this basket, but I just thought it looks nice on camera. Okay, and I've got my own pizza stone here that can just come out the oven now, and I make my own pizzas. So I don't actually buy anything wrapped in plastic regarding bread, obviously not during this challenge, but once my challenge is finished, I tend to buy the bread from the supermarket that you can just take your bag with and just get one off that's off the shelf, rather than using the plastic wrapped bread. As I say, I don't buy bread very often. I don't eat bread very often, but it's nice sometimes to have a little batch in the freezer. So that will get frozen, and yeah, so that's really good. I think that's it really. I don't think I've done anything else exciting today. Apart from going into town, I did a little bit of shopping. Oh, one thing I need to sort of remind you, ladies, especially as we come up to Christmas and, you know, consuming clothes for Christmas, maybe look in your wardrobe and use clothing that you had last year for Christmas. People don't remember what you wore for last Christmas Day. Honestly, it's a bit of a, you know, I've done it in the past. I have to buy a Christmas outfit, got to have a new dress. But actually, I've got tons of clothes that I could use, and people probably, you know, are they that bothered what you've been wearing or what you wore last Christmas? So, you know, try and sort of steer from that. I went into town today and it was full of Christmas clothes and, you know, glitter and all of that sort of stuff. It's not good for the environment. Sequins, glitter, and it ends up in landfill. So if you have got dresses that are like that, you know, wear them again. They are beautiful, they all sparkly, and you know, you don't have to just have one dress and, you know, don't wear it again. Rewear it. And the other thing I need to just kind of remind everybody, and I'm to blame for this, you know, you go into town with the intention of maybe buying just a few things and you buy more than you need and you end up buying a bag, yeah? Try and remember to take that bag with you. So if you've got bags in your car, just put a couple of extra carrier bags that you want, particularly for clothing, because you know, you don't want to ruin a dress if you bought a new dress. So get a few bags, old bags that you kept, so it saves you buying another bag. Yeah, I know some of these bags are bags for life and you can take them back to the supermarket, but honestly, how much of that maybe doesn't get recycled? I don't know. So try and reuse your bags if you can. So I don't want to be here preaching to you. I just want to give you gentle reminders because it's something that I can tend to do. You know, I can go shopping and I don't intend to buy something clothing and I find something and then I have to either walk out with the dress sort of folded up, which looks a bit ridiculous, walking through town with a folded dress. You know, we're going to ask for a bag because it looks hideous otherwise. So as I say, I'm not here to preach, I'm here to remind you and just to waken up your consciousness to helping to create a world that we can sort of think that we've made a difference. You know, if we all make a few changes, yes, we can change the world, we can be the change, we can start to create change and then other people see the change and then hopefully they will also make that change. When I set on this challenge nearly 30 days ago, I didn't know where this journey for myself is going to go, but I've noticed that people that are following me on YouTube, you know, they're giving me feedback and saying, I'm actually going to do this, Libby. I'm actually going to make the effort. You've given me I've done the groundwork for you. I've showed you where things are. Okay, if you don't live in Leicester, but I'm sure there must be lots of shops that do the zero free plastic. We've got the computers there. We just Google it and look. And it's just a case of making people a bit organised, going into town once a month with all your bags, with all the bottles, fill up your shampoo bottles, don't throw them in the bin. You know, recycle stuff. Not recycle stuff, reuse stuff. So I'm going to sign off now. I didn't intend the video to be quite so long. It's 30 minutes and 6 seconds. So I think it's best for me to say bye now and I will see you tomorrow. It's Sunday tomorrow, so see what tomorrow brings. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.